IKON did an oopsie! Or was it YG that did an oopsie?
Or did BI do an oopsie? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Pop News Network. I am your host, Maleficent Dinglehopper, and that's the first name that came to my mind. I don't know why. Today, we're going to be talking about Kim Han-bin, also known as BI of IKON. Now, he is the leader of IKON. If you did not know, IKON was formed back in 2014, I think, or 2013, one of the two, on some kind of reality show. So they have a huge following. They're an extremely popular group with a large fan base, and they are obviously a member of YG Entertainment, which was the first problem. YG has apparently just been broiled in scandal since the Burning Sun Club, but I would actually go further back and say they've actually been embroiled in scandals this year since pretty much January 3rd, when the non-scandal scandal of Jennie and Kai dating, which I still call bullshit on and say was a distraction for some reason of something else. But to catch you guys up, let's talk about the facts. So Dispatch got a hold of some cacao chats between BI and his alleged drug dealer, who was a woman! But women aren't drugs. Okay, women aren't drugs. So I don't know how a woman could be a drug dealer, because we all know women aren't drugs. I'm not going to sit here and read this thing line by line for you. The key thing that I took away from it, though, is the end part here where they talk like this. And I will read this part to you. If you keep doing that, I'll be the one hit by Yang Hyun-suk, which is YG. Be careful. And that's the drug dealer. BI replied, "Can you get it immediately?" Talking about the drugs. A, the drug dealer, "But you really have to watch your mouth." BI said, "For LSD, I won't get caught if I just watch my mouth. You have to do a spinal examination to detect LSD." And then the drug dealer said, "You think they won't look at your phone? They look at all of your cacao messages." BI said, "Yeah, I know. I'm in fucking danger right now. Delete this right now." She said, "LOL." BI said, "I'm a coward, so delete it. Fuck, I'm in Macau." BI said, "I'm flying into Korea on Saturday, and I'll have to buy some from you." Now, this is in stark contrast to his later bullshit apology that he put out that I will read for you. This is Kim Han-bin. "First off, I would like to apologize on behalf of my irresponsible actions that have caused an uproar. This was a time when I was going through such a difficult and painful time where I became interested and wanted to rely on something I shouldn't have, relied on drugs to take away the pain, and that is the truth. However, I was also too scared and fearful to try. So I did not go through with it. And although I never went through with it, I am deeply embarrassed and sorry to all our fans and my fellow members who are most likely so disappointed in my horrible actions. I would like to fully look back and reflect on my actions by officially withdrawing from the group." Now, before I get into my opinion on all this crap, I would like to say that the way the Korean media deals with these situations irks me, because they take any celebrity that gets busted for this and they basically parade them around on this giant propaganda campaign about drugs, destroying them, destroying their identity, destroying the career they've built for themselves, or the character they've sort of built up over the decades, or however long they've been doing their thing. And I think it's kind of dirty. Anytime, personally, I sense something that's contrived or propagandistic or forcing something down my throat, I immediately just push it back, because I just can't stand that kind of bullshit. Half the time, even if I agree with it, because I personally have never taken drugs, I don't really understand the lure of them, but I get also why some people would take drugs. I don't really care if people take drugs. It's your own body, your own life. Fuck it up all you want. That being said, I just hate these stupid apology letters that they always put out, where they say what you're supposed to say and they're gonna parade them around just like they did Seungri and that douchebag that helped him do all that crap with the Burning Sun scandal. And they parade them around. They always look very somber and very fake sorry for what they did. And they say all these words you're supposed to say, and all of it's bullshit, and everybody knows it's bullshit, because they would not have said anything if they didn't get caught. But everybody has to accept it because that's the politically correct thing to do. And You know, they've said they're sorry. The kids know drugs are bad now, and now we can go on pretending like we give a shit about any of this. The bottom line with this kind of stuff is always the same. Stop worshiping and idolizing idols and seeing them as these infallible creatures that can do no wrong. Because 95% of the time, what you see is a product. The thing that you love, the idol, the person that you love, and that goes for any of mine too. It's a product. They have cultivated a product. They have trained for years to present an image of something that they think you or the fans or whoever else want to see. And it's all wrapped up in a pretty package with a nice bow. But most of the time it's bullshit. And hopefully at some point people learn this and these kind of things won't surprise you as much. But listen, obviously this is coming from a Western perspective because this shit is what we're used to. I mean, this is what all our celebrities do. Hollywood is a cesspool of drugs, sex, and rock and roll. And it's not an exaggeration. Like, it's bad. Almost everybody does it. All you gotta do is listen to a Nickelback song.
The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat.
Such a dumb analogy. But I digress. So then obviously the conversation turns to why would he do something like this? One, when you get famous, you get the access to the depths of sleaze and drugs and everything that fame brings. Two, and I think a likely scenario as well, is he wanted out of IKON. Argument is, and I get it, that he's walking away from the money, the fame, and everything that goes with it. That would be stupid. But I think that's an outside looking in perspective. I think when you're inside looking out, you probably think, you know, the grass is not greener. Yeah, I have this money. Yeah, I have this fame, but I'm a prisoner, or I can't go outside because I'm mobbed, or everything I do is I'm in a glass house and I'm watched constantly. I have to constantly keep up this facade. I'm tired of playing this character, this role, and it eats you alive inside. And you'd probably be like, you know what? I'll fucking take 20 grand a year and live, you know, paycheck to paycheck. And then they think that side is greener. And then they get there and they're like, oh, maybe I want to be rich again. It's the classic duality of human nature. But I do think that from the inside looking out perspective that it is possible, because I think once you have the fame and the money, it's not all it's cracked up to be. And the third reason is that he was forced out and YG is using this scandal as a cover for something else. And I only say that, and this is all just conjecture. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I have no proof of any of this, but I do think that it's interesting that this occurred back in 2016. These original cacao chats were done back in 2016. The police knew of them and did not investigate them. I'm pretty sure the Burning Club scandal dates back to around that time too, in which the police knew about them and did not investigate them. Everything seems to point back to corruption in places of power. Surprise, surprise. And I think that there may have been something brewing or something about to come out, and maybe a deal was struck. Maybe something was a accord was reached between, you know, dispatch possibly. I don't know. I'm not going to count them out of this as saying, hey, we'll throw you this bone, but don't talk about this because, you know, the police are involved and there's a big scandal back here brewing. And I know you look at any chat forum where they're translated Koreans, and a lot of Koreans are wondering, like, why aren't the police being investigated? Why weren't these investigated back then? No answers are being given, and they're very valid questions. It just reeks to high heaven of corruption and shadiness. And I do think that it's interesting because this is a little bit reminiscent of the Jenny, Kim, and Kai non-scandal scandal, where out of nowhere they're suddenly dating, and unlike every other freaking time, every other conceivable, relatable incident, both record labels are fine with it, even though both their contracts technically are against it. And then 2 or 3 months go by and they're just like, oh, we're calling it quits. That's cool. All done. Dispatch was also involved in that. They got the pictures and everything. And then not long after, the Burning Sun scandal kicks up. So I don't know. To me, I look at all that stuff. I see a lot of things that don't quite match up. I see a lot of weird coincidences. I see a lot of like shady stuff. There's something else there. There's something else going on in the background that is desperately trying to be covered up by the powers that be. And I feel like it's gonna come out eventually. And I hope for the Korean people that, you know, the people in charge and the people with the power are properly investigated if they have wrongdoings going on and they are abusing said power, and that they're removed. Because as a Westerner, while I can't really understand or relate to the extreme anger that Koreans do show towards the use of even like the smallest drugs, I totally understand the hatred and distrust of government bodies because ours sucks. Either way, those are just my opinions. What are yours? Comment them below. Let me know what you think about this whole scenario. And for further updates, as well as many, many other videos, because I post 3 to 5 times a week, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and keep on popping, K-Poppers. Remember, it's not a trend, it's a lifestyle. Deuces.